Hello guys, this is Neo Anderson in my YouTube channel. I am gonna try to attempt to make a video for Hearthstone. This is a game I've been playing lately, and we're gonna be using Control Warrior, which is one of the good archetypes for um, for this game. Uh, okay, so let's take a look at the deck. Actually, I'm currently rank 6 as of June 16, 2014. Okay, so I have several decks with me. So what we're gonna be using later is the armor up version of the Control Warrior. My main goal right now is to reach the legendary rank, which I haven't done so yet. But before that, let's take a look at what deck we will be using. Okay, so like I said, we're gonna be using Control Warrior, which is the armor up version. It's a similar version that we normally see on the net, used by several pro players. So I just tweaked it a bit. What I have right now is one copy of Inner Rage. Um, Before all this, let's go with the core first. Of course, the core would be Execute, Shield Slam, Whirlwind, Fiery War Axe. These are your early game core cards, which normally is required for a warrior. I have one copy of Slam. Formerly, I was running two, but after several testing, I just opted to one for now. And if you're using the armor up version of Control Warrior, you'll have a armor smith here. It saves up or gives you a lot of armor, especially during against aggro. Required also is two copies of Cruel Taskmaster. So okay, for my version is one gold and the other one is not. So Cruel Taskmaster is used for enabling your finishers later. We'll explain that. I find it hard to because normally I use Cruel Taskmaster against aggro as well. So I tend to run out of enablers for my Gromash Hellscream. So I find the ability really good, and that being said, I opted to have one Inner Rage in addition because it helps out on enabling, and at the same time it can help um, if you're going for the finish at turn 8. As early as turn 8, you can just use Gromash and have it Inner Raged. We also have Shield Block. Now this is a staple for armor up control versions, and the Acolyte of Pain to draw some cards. Now, Gorehowl is also somewhat a staple to take care of enemy minions. There's also Baron Geddon, very good against Shaman, especially if you use it along with your Whirlwinds. Of course, we cannot disregard the late game finisher, best finisher so far for me. And I have been playing Warrior for a very long time now. And Grom is definitely the icing in the cake, as we say. Alex Traza is normally used against your opponents, especially against control decks. But if you're battling aggro, you can also use this as your lifesaver. Now, you might notice I don't have a Ragnaros. I do have Ragnaros with me, but I swapped it with Isera. The reason being is that I find Ragnaros very dependent to random number generator or RNG as we speak. And Isera helps me a lot, especially against um, druids, which find it hard to kill her unless they're running naturalize. So the other addition to this, having that core, I added a Chillwind Yeti for the reasons that I'm not using Corkron Elite This is very helpful against as a mid game threat. Corcoran is okay if you're going for the early finish, but I find Chill Vignette a little bit better because it has a staying power and it sometimes generates 2 for 1 or it forces the opponent to use 2 cards against him. Another thing is the Spellbreaker. This is a late addition which I needed lately due to the power cards like um, Sylvanas or what's the Torren again? The Chieftain with 4/5 Karn Broadhoof. So it is very useful against those cards. I find it hard, and with me having to save execute and the other cards for bigger threats, Spellbreaker really helps. Not only that, but also to disable taunts during my late game finish with Grom Health Scream. Spellbreaker really helps a lot. Now, I run one copy of Brawl, particularly for aggro and Shaman decks, which can really flood the board very quickly. And it is also very helpful against hand locks, where hand lock will have several, especially if you are facing a lot of giants in front of you. So I run one, at least one copy for now. Um, I have inclined to use Azure Drake, very useful because it replaces itself. And at the same time, it also helps out with the spells we have here. But the main thing I like is that it really helps on generating the card draw, which is really important during mid game to maintain card hand size and at the same time have a liable threat on the board. The Black Knight, of course, for taunt minions, which is a little bit of a weakness of this deck. At the late parts of the game, we normally may find ourselves having problems with minions with taunts, and with that being said, your Grom Hellscream will have difficulties penetrating uh, the opponent for the finish. So Black Knight really helps a lot along with the Spellbreaker to remove that big taunt creature or any taunt creature at all. The last addition, just recently I added a Harrison Jones because it's very ironic because I am a warrior and there are some mid-range hunters right now which is making a comeback after the nerf from Unleash the Hounds. So Harrison is really very useful against hunters with the Eagle Horn bow. At the same time, during control mirrors, it can take out your opponent's Gore Howl or at least a Fiery War Axe. Not only that, but shamans these days, at least at this point in time, uses Doom Hammer also. So I just let the durability of Doom Hammer lessen a bit because I don't want to be drawing 8 cards at the same time unless I'm really out of cards. Okay, so this is the what our deck so far. I tried to run a Hearthstone tracker, and for after playing for a week or so, I'm at around 70% win rate. So my main weakness, unfortunately, is before I was having problems with hand luck, but lately I seem to have problems with Druid Ramp. Problem there is that they have so many threats that I need to answer, and we only have Execute, Shield Slam, and all the others to help us win. So if I don't draw Alexstrasza soon enough, the game may go to their favor. Shaman is also a hard opponent to face, but given that we were running Baron Geddon and we seem to have determined the sequence, I'm pretty comfortable fighting against Shaman now. Okay, so that's the core of the deck. I'm gonna be posting a video, sample videos, and I hope you like it. And thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.